Hello and welcome back to Factorio. It's been a few months since I played, and while I was away the game has been updated. It's version 14 now instead of 12, so a lot of new things and new stuff, and also had to renew the mods and stuff like that. For example, up here now we have keys for the menu, the production statistics, which can now be scrolled to see everything instead of just what would fit in this view. And then we have a bonuses screen here where you can see all the bonuses to various damage and bullet types and research stuff and turrets and even inserter stack bonuses, which now are work differently. They only work for stack inserters, express stack inserters, stack filter inserters, and express stack filter inserters, which we'll get to at some point. And then you have a map key, of course, up there as well, alongside a new train view where you can see all the trains and change their orders and change their color even. So I've colored like this guy's yellow or whatever, brown mixed with yellow because it's carrying bauxite. And there you can see the map view or the actual camera view, which kind of makes this mod up here redundant, but not entirely, because with this thing you can not only rename them, but you can also click on stuff through this view here. You can like see if those guys have bullets and how many tons or whatever of stuff those chests have and stuff like that. That doesn't work with the vanilla interface thing here. You can't click on anything through here. You can just zoom out and zoom in and see what's happening, but you can't get any info through it. So it's kind of limited viewpoint compared to this, which actually moves the camera to the train in question. And speaking of trains, my Farl is up here, where I've added a station for it, Farl North. And then there's also Farl South and Farl East. Let's close this thing and look at the Farl South, which is there. And then Farl East is over here, where I've continued the track into a new coal outpost, which also has iron, rutile and tungsten, which I haven't used it yet, but the coal is there because this one totally ran out, so I had to do that while I was renewing a bunch of stuff such as inserters, because not all the mods have been, how do I close this? There we go. Not all the mods have been updated to version 14 yet, or even version 13, so I might suspect that they have been discontinued, such as the candle inserters mod and the handcrafting mod. So I had to let the handcrafting mod thing go, so I don't have any handcrafting stuff anymore. Like in the modular armor, I can't put any crafting equipment there to speed up my handcrafting. But luckily the candle inserters can now be replaced by Bob's inserters. Was there a way to see the mod list in the game? I don't think so. I have to go to the main menu, but anyway, there's a new Bob's mod. I think it was called adjustable inserters or something like that. So if I build pretty much any inserter, you can click on Shift E like this to change the position, even from like all the way over there to all the way over that side, and change the offset so that it inserts near or far wherever you are. Like that. It works on pretty much every inserter here. We get the burners in normal and long, and although this long insert is kind of redundant because you can just change the why did I build it? You can change this thing to be how long you want it to be, like that, or even like from there to there. Actually change it like that, or even from the same square, picking up from the same square where it puts it down and stuff like that. So then there's the filter inserter, which is now purple. Used to be the smart inserter, but now it's called the filter inserter. And then there's the extra variant of that, and then we have the stack inserter, which works wonders on train stations and stuff like that, such as over here where we have now filter stack inserters. They get all the bonuses listed under here. So the normal fast and burner and whatnot, all of these inserters up to this one, they don't get any stack size bonuses when moving between containers, such as a cargo wagon and a chest. And speaking of cargo wagons, they look different now. Same with the trains, they got a new graphic on them and stuff like that. Another mod that had to go was the tree farm mod because it hasn't been updated since version 12. And let's mention this thing here. It's called Hazard Concrete. I think it's part of the hard crafting mod. I should have some over here. In this one, yeah, Hazard Concrete. But what mod is it a part of? I have to pick some of it up to see, but then they'll produce more. What if I take it over from that, then they won't produce anymore. Oh, damn it, it doesn't say, but I think it might be part of the hard crafting mod. I thought it would say, like there it says base and then Bob's plates, but it doesn't say anything for these. Interesting. No, I guess it could be vanilla, but I'm pretty sure it's part of the hard crafting or landfill mod, because that's where these come from. They look different now as well, and there's no big landfill anymore, just the normal small ones, which is why I had to make some changes over there. But let's first go over here where I've replaced the tree farms with Bob's greenhouses. So these are like miniature tree farms in a glass container, sort of, making wood with seedlings and fertilizer and water. Although there are 2 recipes, so some of them over here they don't use fertilizer at all in case I run out of that. But the fertilizer makes it grow faster. Let's see if I can find the recipe down here. Grow trees without fertilizer is 60 time units, while fertilizer boosts it up to 45 time units. And 1.5 seedlings. It requires 1 wood. How the hell do you produce half a seedling? I never noticed that. Anyway, here we got a bunch of them and a bunch of inserters taking stuff in and putting stuff out. So they insert the wood and seedlings onto these outer belts, and then they circle over here into a belt sorter, which now has a new graphic as well, and a little bit of change on the interface, some extra stuff here that I haven't used yet. But the bad thing about the belt sorters is that the old ones kind of glitched out, so I had to like rebuild all the belt sorters, and the pieces or the blocks occupied by the old belt sorters are like unusable now. Let's see if I can find one. Like here, there used to be a belt sorter here, but now if I try to build anything there, it won't let me. For some reason, it's totally unusable, except tunnels, of course, can go underneath it. So I had to get a little bit creative to get all the belt sorters in new places to get around the blocked positions. Like that one, for some reason, is blocked. It's some sort of glitch that has to do with updating or something. It's like when I clicked on the old belt sorter, I could only see this interface here. And now even the old belt sorters popped up for some reason. You can see them there, but I can't like click on them or interact with them in any way. But anyway, with the old belt sorters, when I clicked on them, only this was visible, not this one, and then it gave some Lua error down here. So I couldn't assign these orders here. And here you can see a new thing. It's called everything else, so you can filter everything else. That's pretty handy. Like here, the scrap metal goes up and the robots go to the left. And speaking of the robots, I've done some changes over here, although nothing entirely works yet. I just added some assembly machines here because the way the robots are constructed has changed thanks to Bob. I think, yeah, Bob's logistics. So now I need like a construction robot tool or a logistics robot tool to make it work. But I'm still missing the logistics robot brain because I think my electronics production is halted by something, but we'll get to that later. Back to the greenhouses over here, where the wood continues down here into these who make seedlings out of it, and of course into the board production and resin production where this belt leads to. And as for the fertilizer, it's taken from this chest, but it's produced all the way over there somewhere where I will go next. And then in the center here we have this belt, which has the seeds and the fertilizer on it on different sides. And it goes through here where these inserters can pick them up and put them in the greenhouse to grow. And all the water comes from over here from this offshore pump. And speaking of the offshore pumps, I had to renew all the pumps that were generating water out of nothing because I was unable to get the recipe back, even though I did how the instructions said. But it wasn't that big of a problem. It seems like these pumps over here are just fine and dandy to get enough water for these guys. I removed all the Mark III pump things. Where are they? These things, because they don't have the let's build one, although I actually have like 30 or something of them in storage, or maybe even 40. So let's change that into the pump. That one, and they should bring me some. Anyway, I removed all of them and upgraded the pipes into plastic so they have more capacity. And then I also added some storage tanks here because they can apparently store 100 Celsius or boiling water without it actually losing any temperature, which is crazy. I think even if I would get rid of or stop all of these boilers, the water would still retain its temperature, meaning it's ready to be used in the steam machines. There we go. Now I got some pumps, so I can show you there's no more recipe for water or lithia water. The normal water isn't a problem because there's plenty of small lakes and ponds around here, but the lithia water is, which is why I had to build an outpost for that all the way down here, because the map, this is like how far I had to go for the map to start regenerating random stuff, including the lithia water deposits. Like here you can see this is the border here where it like started generating new maps, because it's kind of fucked up how the edge goes there. Might have something to do with the resource overhaul mod, which determines how the resources spawn and whatnot. I've explored over here and here, but didn't find any lithia water until I got this one all the way down here. We'll get over there at some point to check it out. Before I head to the other greenhouse, let's have a look over here where I had to change the alien artifact stuff. Now instead of, what are these called? Chemical plants, they use metal mixing furnaces to make superconductors out of just rare earth. Previously it needed like sulfuric acid and something else, copper plates I think, but now it's just straight up rare earth. And then for some reason this recipe here, using like one or four of those and one of these, or four of these and one of those, something like that, was absent, but I managed to somehow modify the Lua config files to get it back. I think it had something to do with Bob's mods also modifying the alien artifact recipe. Like this one using 25 small alien artifacts, but this one is from crafted artifacts and that one is from Bob's enemies. But the crafted alien artifacts mod also modified how rare earth is gotten. It's a mixture of stone, iron, copper and sulfuric acid now instead of just the resource. So when I loaded the game with the new versions of the mod, the deposit up here, or pretty much all of the alien earth deposits, disappeared. So I'm gonna have to make that using this recipe soon. I haven't done that yet because I still had rare earth left in these chests over here, but it looks like it's all gone now. And speaking of these chests here, I forgot to mention I had to pretty much redo almost all of the train stations, because these cargo wagons are now a bit longer, or the positioning at least was different, so I had to move like one inserter from each end to the other and stuff like that, but now they're all good. And speaking of the alien artifacts up here, it's now a copper and stone station. I connected this copper here with some mines into that station. Let's find a train that's going over there. We can see it in person without actually going there. That one, I think, but it's down there unloading now. But it should head there soon. You can even turn it into manual mode here if you want, but then you'd have to hop on board and drive it yourself. There she goes. Through the twists and the turns, and there it arrives. So it's got a bunch of stack filter inserters and express inserters here. The stone is coming from down here, and the copper stuff is going up there through these tunnels. And speaking of stone, it now also produces gravel. So I had to redo this station, put those gravel things down there and here and there. So now the stone is going that way, and the gravel has its thing over here. Actually, looks like I forgot to connect these 6. Damn it, I gotta remember to do that. But anyway, the gravel goes into these machines, and then from them into those machines, and the copper ones all the way down there somewhere as well. Here we have another change. I mentioned the landfills before. There's no big landfill anymore, so I had to take out one landfill machine here and moved it here so that it takes stone from here, because otherwise the stone was backing up too much. So, and now this belt system here is rearranged so that stone from these guys takes priority over new stone coming from the mining outpost up north. And here we have a situation that I also need to resolve. There's too much of this stuff, sodium calcium chloride, something like that. I think it's this one. Nope, silicon nitride. It looks similar to that. I can't see it in here because it doesn't have its own recipe. It's just a byproduct of this. Maybe I'll just pick some up and see. Sodium hydroxide is a problem right now. There's too much of it because it's not going into this warehouse anymore. I should take that out. There's too much of it, and because of that I can't produce any chlorine, which is used in gold stuff, and also these things producing calcium chloride. Although it looks like they're producing a little bit of it right now. How the hell is that possible when I have none of this stuff? Hydrogen chloride. Although it looks like some chlorine is being produced. I guess some of this stuff is being used all the way over there somewhere. Let's head over there to see it, and also look at the other greenhouses that I have over here. So I had to remove all the tree farms over there and move them over here in form of these greenhouses, which I think all of them actually use fertilizer on this side, because it is made right over here with these two using petroleum gas and nitrogen. Petroleum is coming from all the way down there, and the hydrogen is generated right here using this compressor, and the byproduct is oxygen right here, which is being vented into the atmosphere. And then we have a thing over here producing, what is this stuff? Nitrogen? I can't see, it's not hydrogen. Yeah, that's what it is, because I'm using that down here to make solid fuel. It's a pretty efficient way to make it, because the only non-renewable thing there is coal. So it's a better way to get solid fuel than this, or these two, which use oil. And this here is making it from petroleum gas, because that seems to be abundant. I got 2 big tanks over there, Mark IV tanks full of it. While on the other hand, light oil is pretty low, and heavy oil is almost non-existent, but it doesn't matter because I got plenty of lubricant over there, and light oil isn't really used for anything except these two.